Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I am Jordan. Today we are going to check out Deanston 12-year. Now, Deanston's a Highland single malt. Boy, I don't really know what all to say about it. It's ringing in at 46.3% ABV. So what is that? 46 makes it 92.6%, 92.6 proof. Let's see. Before we get into the whiskey, let's catch up on a couple of things. Number one, we got the autofocus on, so I don't know. We'll see how the video goes. If you're getting a little seasick from watching, drop it in the comments. We'll take the autofocus off. I've almost always had autofocus off on all my videos. I seem to be fairly well focused, but then like the bottles and other stuff, it's just kind of a random focal point. So if you like it, let me know. If you don't, drop it in the comments. Number two, Deanston, I believe, says it's a Highland. I'm pretty certain that even though it's a Highland, I'm fairly certain, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that this is a, well, actually, let me look and see here. We'll just cut this out of the video, perhaps, if it takes too long. But I'm pretty sure it is a Bayside. This is not why you came here, okay? You don't come here because I provide you with all the information. You come here because you're interested in what's in the bottle. So I'm fairly certain this is a Speyside, though I could be very wrong about that. The thing with Highland, anything labeled Highland, is a Speyside is a sub-region of Highland, if you're not familiar. It's kind of in the northeast, I guess, part of Scotland, of the Highlands. So if you are a distillery in the Speyside region, you can choose to either label it as a Speyside or as a Highland. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that Islay Scotch is kind of my favorite. Right below that, we have Speysides. And I do like the peated Campbell. I like Campbelltowns. I like the Lowlands, and I've only had a handful of those. They've always been peated. I think I might have one that's not peated. At this point, I've had so many bottles. I don't know what review are we on. This is, I think, review number 316. But the thing I don't like about, not most, because there's hundreds of Highland scotches, but the thing I don't really like about the Highland scotches that I've had is they seem to be fairly simple. And I haven't even had anything to drink yet. Fairly simple, very light fruit forward, such as pear seems to be a very common fruit flavor, kind of a honeysuckle or a lilac. A little bit of a floral component, but not in the same way that bourbon or something else is. It has some of those similar characteristics, but it's just too light and fruity for me. It is not the flavor profile that I'm looking for when I drink a scotch. And as such, you'll notice I've maybe only done, I don't even know if I've reviewed 5 Highland scotches on here, although 5 brands, we'll say, because I think I did the Glenfiddich. Done a couple of samplers, holiday samplers over the years, where you get like 4 bottles at a crack, and they're just not my cup of tea. However, Speyside gives me that really classic, rich butterscotch maltiness, and I really, really enjoy that as part of my scotch. It seems to be a little more hefty, a little bit creamier in mouthfeel. All things that I do not get from the Highlands that I have experienced at this point. Now, again, there's hundreds of them out there, so I've covered nowhere near all of them, and I don't really know, which distillery I should focus on or whatnot if I want. I've never even looked into it or researched it because I've been busy enough trying to keep up with Speysides or Islas, and now, like I said, we can throw some Lowlands and Campbelltowns in there, and there's not that many distilleries. I think there's only 3 distilleries in Campbelltown. So there's not a whole lot to choose from when it comes to that. And so I just haven't really gotten into that stuff so much. But like I said, all of that might be for now. This might actually just be a Highland and not a Speyside, but I believe it is a Speyside. And if it is just a Highland, then we can scratch all of that. And lo and behold, there's a Highland that I actually like, because I do really appreciate this Deanston 12. So that's kind of a little bit on the whiskey. More catching up then. Today is November 30th, last day of November. We made it through the holidays. If you are watching this on BitChute, you'll know that there was no video. Today's Thursday. There was no video yesterday because I ran out of videos. I've been busting my butt for the 2 weeks prior to Thanksgiving, trying to get my flooring done for the house because I had in-laws coming. I did manage to get all of it done except for our bedroom. That's a project for next week. Turned out really great. Very, very nice. My wife is happy, which is always key. And, it worked out great having the in-laws here. So, a lot of focus on that. Number 2, finally got a GPS tracking collar for the new dog. She's going to be 6 months here, like the second week of December. She'll be 6 months old. Just went to the vet yesterday. 2 days ago. She was 31 pounds, 31.2 pounds already. She's going to be a big dog. I think she's going to break the 50-pound mark. She's going to be like I say big dog. She's going to be a standard size English pointer. Got that GPS collar. Managed to get out like 3 times with her. Including, was it yesterday then that we went out? No, it was the same day we went to the vet. Threw the little man in the backpack. He's getting big, so I had 45 pounds, I think, strapped to my back between him and water and clothing and whatever else. He and I hiked 3.6 miles and did something like, I don't know, 1,000 vertical feet out on the prairie. And my dog ran 12.1 miles. So she's moving, covering some ground, and we'll do a video on her coming up. But that was her 3rd run. She does a really good job, and I think she's going to shape up to be a pretty good dog once she figures out how to hunt and what she's hunting for. That'll come in time. Like I said, she's not even 6 months. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I can get some bird work in on her, and I'll be able to maybe hunt Huns in January. We'll see. That might be a pipe dream, but if nothing else, we'll catch some collared doves. We'll take them out, we'll shoot them, and get some bird shot over her, and see if we can't get the switch to flip in her brain. We've been going around the house here. There's pheasants. She's definitely interested in them. She's definitely looking for them, but she hasn't put it all together yet, and she definitely hasn't figured out like how to hunt. But that'll come with time. So pretty excited about that. We're coming into the Christmas season here. I don't have plans to do anything special for Christmas as far as videos go. What you see here is kind of what I got. So we got the Deanston, then the Brooklotic, Classic Lottie. Haven't had that on yet. And then I've been talking about it forever, but the Octomore 13.3. Those will be the next 3 videos. So we got 1, 2, and 3. We're going to shoot those today, along with the final shoot today is going to be my Rebel comparison. We have Rebel 100, Rebel 10-year, and Rebel Cask Strength. That's how we're going to finish things out here. And at that point, that is all the whiskey that I have. I'm sure I'll pick up a new bottle here somewhere along the way. Still trying to get my hands on a stag. Locally, the cheaper place here in town that sells it, when they get it in. Now, they had a little kerfuffle with their distributor, and they weren't able to get anything brought in for like 2 months and blah, 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 blah. All that aside, they were selling it for under $70. I don't know exactly, but it was like $50-$60 for a stag. So really trying hard to get my hands on one of those. When I went hunting in North Dakota and picked up my dog. Now, again, my dog's name's Boonahabin. We call her Boone for short, or Boondoggle, or Boonerang, or Booneroo, or the Boonster, or any number of things. She has a lot of names. She answers to all and none at the same time. But so we named her after the Boonahabin distillery. But yeah, they just have good prices on stuff. But we got Weller 101 for my hunting partner when we went and picked her up in North Dakota and went hunting. We cracked open one of those bottles. Now, as you know, I've not really been the biggest fan of the Weller. Oh, I said 101. It's 106. I've not been the biggest fan of the Weller 106. The bottle that we opened at my hunting partners, or when we were in North Dakota, is, I don't know, 50 or 60% better than the bottle that I have. So the bottle that I have, it's more tannic, more bitter, more hot. Um, and it just never really ranked well. My hunting partner, he had both an E.H. Taylor that he brought, which I happily drank most of, unfortunately, and then also the Weller 106 we cracked open, or 106, 107, Weller 107. Golly, Ned, I'm just off my game today. It's been a while since I've done a video. That's why I'm doing this review. Anyways, tried that, really, really enjoyed it. So if I can find one for 40, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, I'll probably pick one up. If it's any more than that, no, definitely not going to pick one up. Because I have not in past been too excited about it. I've been let down by that bottle. So there you go. That's kind of where I'm at with those. What else do we need to know? I don't know. How long are we in this video already? Already 12 minutes in, haven't done squat. So let's get to the whiskey. That's why you're here. So Deanston 12-year, kind of a classic. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a Speyside, but I'm not positive. I should know all these things, but I don't. Ooh, man, just pouring it, there was just a nice waft of apple that came through, which is interesting. But in the glass, it's very malt forward. It's kind of leaning into the Highland Park type of maltiness. Sweet butterscotch, vanilla, honey, and just a malt forwardness, just a slight sour on the back end. It's almost like an oak or a wood sour. A little bit of dustiness in there. Mostly butterscotch, a little bit of light fruit, light floral kind of stuff going on. I'd say that apple's kind of a nice note, like a nice light honey crisp apple, especially above the glass up here, mixed with that butterscotch. But there is a sour in a good way, a sour malty oakiness to it. I really do like it though. It's got a good nose. There's a lot going on in there. And again, this is, I'm in the basement. It's kind of cold down here. It's probably 60 degrees or so. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it warm up just a smidge in my hand here while I BS some more. My mom and stepdad, they went out to my brother's for Thanksgiving, and was finally able, after 2 years, to get him his 300 Win Mag back. Got some really nice hand loads put together for him. A lights out shooting rifle, man. We just bought some cheap Norma 150 grain whitetail for it just so I could get some brass. He bought a whole case of that. And just those 150 grains, I was able to shoot. Man, I got some shots where I put 2 in 1 hole. I was able to shoot like a half-inch group with that. So then I put my hand loads together for him, shooting 180 grain Nosler E-tips. And after doing all the seeding and playing with different primers and all kinds of stuff, got it to shoot, I think, 0.63-inch group, which is far and away better than my brother can shoot. So darn nice shooting rifle. Doesn't really pop you too bad, especially for how light of a rifle it is. Should be pretty good. And in case you're wondering, it was a Savage 110 Storm. So it's a stainless version, not a light version. So no fluted barrel or anything like that, but just really nice rifle. Shot really, really well. As do all the Savages that I have. All right, now that's warmed up, it's super butterscotch, but there's still malt. Lots of malt in there. Ooh, on the taste, very creamy, buttery mouthfeel, oily, clingy mouthfeel for the first half. Dries on the tongue on the second half. With all that creaminess comes a sweet vanilla butterscotch and honey. On the back end, as it dries out, you kind of get a bit of a barrel impact tannin bitterness, but not overpowering or dominant at all. It really balances out the sweetness that comes forward in the flavor profile. Just a nice wood oak impact, not a oak tannin impact on flavor. Like tastes like an oak stave smells before you char it. On the finish, mixed with a little bit of underlaying sugar, I would say the finish is more woody and oaky than it is sweet. But there's kind of background balance, but the oak is forward on the finish. Very, very well balanced, very nice. Nose is not changing. That's very butterscotch, honey, malt. That malt is really in there. Let's see if we can get this for a color here. You know, it's kind of a really nice dark honey, gold color. Liking it. Second sip. That time a little bit of oaky tannic bitterness kind of picked up forward. Got that creamy mouthfeel again. That kind of pushed from start to finish that time as far as mouthfeel. But this tannic bitterness kind of showed up early. Almost like baking soda. Kind of ran through the middle of that flavor profile that time. But there was mixed in with that, but subdued compared to that bitterness was a sweet vanilla. That butterscotch is still in there. Kind of the ethanol, the ethanol ding kind of rode on the back of that tannin, that bitterness. And then on the finish, once again, especially the longer finish, it was oak. Not the tannic part, but just the flavor of oak. Again, balanced in all those flavors. Nothing super spiky, but it's all moving around a little bit. Really, really enjoying it. The nose is staying very, very malty butterscotch forward. Last sip. That time switched right back around. Very, very sweet forward with that butterscotch, and then a very sweet honey vanilla. That tannin picks up kind of mid palate along with the ethanol. Those two ride out with that wood flavor, finish it up. There's a little bit of light fruit in there, kind of like maybe an apricot, something along those lines. It's not a pear, it's not a peach. Something in there with a little bit of sour on the back end of it. Really nice, really good. I do enjoy it a lot. This one's probably going to be one that I come back to multiple times, probably not on camera, but for a daily sipper for myself. Deanston 12-year, love it. Picked it up. My wife picked it up because, again, can't find it anywhere around here. $67.99, so call it $68 down in Colorado at the Total Wines in Denver. And the company is Burn Stewart Distilleries or Distell Group Limited. That is who is running this thing. But man, super nice. Very, very, very accessible for a lot of people. As far as flavor profiles go, I don't know about distribution wise, but super nice. If you got one in your local area and you're into Scotch, highly recommend picking up, giving it a try. Like I said, this is only a 12-year product, so I saw on their website there's 18 and a couple others, so maybe worth checking out. I don't know. Drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle for in your area and where that happens to be. Also, and where that happens to be, I mean state or city if you wish. And what your experience with it is. Again, Deanston 12-year, just their standard off the shelf. No special editions or anything like that. And let's see here. Finally, oh, I know what it was. Finally, this video's pretty long because it is. We're running 20 minutes, but we'll cut some of that out. Finally, the last thing I want to say is if you are watching on YouTube, you're not watching this video at the moment, most likely. But what I did was I bumped everything up to be a Wednesday and a Saturday release. So now instead of releasing, I think my last video was set to drop in 2025 or something like that on YouTube, by bumping everything up to Wednesdays and Saturdays. Now my last video that I currently have posted is going to be in June of 2024, I believe. And with that, I want to say the videos I have uploaded to YouTube only run through like video 260 something. So I got, 50 videos I got to upload or more to YouTube that I currently only have on BitChute. So this video should drop Thursday. Today's Thursday, 30th, 1st, 2nd. This should drop on December 2nd, 2023. So there you go. As always, thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day. Catch you in the next video where we are going to look at Brooklada Classic Lottie. Thanks for watching.